Monetary policy, concept, features and relevance. Friends, today we are going to discuss the concept of monetary policy. The concept of monetary policy is not of recent origin. This in reality is an old idea practiced by kings and monarchs in ancient history. They also had adopted different economic instruments to meet the demand of money to pursue different objectives of the economy. The stability of the economy depends to a great extent on the money supply and the value of currency. Since historical period, many kings have rightly met their financial requirements during war period by adjusting the money supply, raising funds for the purpose of meeting wartime expenses. These strategies took the form of methods to control the aggregate money supply in the economy and to raise adequate revenue through taxation and raising of debts. These are the roots of modern policies of monetary management. Monetary policy is an indicator of countries' or states' approach towards management of economy at large. The main problem of every economy can be described like how to acquire funds for public welfare, how to curb inflation and inflationary pressure, as well as how to make arrangements of finance for developmental and welfare purposes. It is often easy to talk of welfare or desire to face a warlike situation, but songs of patriotism alone cannot meet the financial requirements of the economy. Many more things are required to be done to bring the economy on track. The first and the most important is approach towards money management and management of state finances. No state, no economy, no government can afford to neglect this vital issue. Therefore, it is essential that every government should try to develop a sound monetary policy for short term as well as for long term success. What is the concept of monetary policy? Macroeconomic policy belongs to the category of those economic concepts which are not simple to explain. However, one can easily understand the practical applications of money management. A macroeconomic policy is a set of those concepts which the government employs in order to regulate or direct the economic affairs of the country. This helps the policy makers to achieve certain predetermined macroeconomic goals. The principal purpose of macroeconomic policy is to assess the behavior of the economy as a whole and to identify the ways in which its aggregate performance might be improved. Monetary policy is one of the principal aspects of macroeconomic policies or macroeconomic systems of the government. It is a major economic instrument in the hands of the government or its policy makers to achieve certain socio-economic goals. It is also considered as an indispensable tool for efficient economic management of the nation. It covers all the monetary decisions and measures that aim at influencing money management and monetary system of the economy. It may even encompass certain non-monetary measures having monetary and or financial implications on the economy of the country. The modern day monetary policy constitutes the important tools of macroeconomic policy. The macroeconomic management for a country's economy is a broad issue. Governing the economy is not just about managing public finance, it is about generation and utilization of funds. Both these are very crucial issues in front of every government. People expect many things from the government. These include welfare, development, defense and growth. However, all these issues do not go hand in hand. There are many controversies and contradictions. The central bank of the country cannot depend on just printing money. It has to back the money generation process with equivalent increase in the intrinsic value of money and purchasing power of the people. This all becomes a scope of scientifically designed monetary policy. Raising money for government is very difficult. Every time government cannot depend on increasing tax burden of the citizens. Other sources of revenue generation also have their own limitations. Credit creation thus becomes a complex and vital issue. Hence, monetary policy plays a very critical role in economic management of a nation. The success of economic management of the government truly depends on how effectively it designs and implements a sound monetary policy. Thus, a monetary policy is a policy which employs the central bank's control over the supply, cost and use of money as an instrument for achieving specified set of economic targets or objectives. It directs, formulates and even influences the overall economic policy of the country. Let us understand what is the genesis of monetary policy. At different times in history, the state has employed economic policy for different purposes which were not necessarily framed in the interest of public at large. A few examples can prove this point. Queen Cleopatra of Greece has devalued the Greek currency by 75% to finance her luxurious living. Similarly, Charles the Bad, the king of Navarre in 1383 had debarred his country's own coinage by 1/3 to secure funds to celebrate the release of the heir to the throne from French captivity. These are the roots of modern monetary policies. However, the purposes for which modern monetary policies are adopted are somewhat different. These include rapid economic growth of the economy, growth with stability and reduction of inequality of wealth and price control. The concept of monetary policy is associated with the changes in the supply of money and credit in an economy. It basically refers to the policy measures undertaken by the government or the central bank to influence the availability, cost and usage of money and credit with the help of certain monetary techniques to achieve specific economic objectives. The term monetary policy is also known as credit policy of the central bank of the country. In case of India, the monetary policy is also known as RBI's, that is Reserve Bank of India's money management policy or credit policy of Reserve Bank of India. The monetary policy of any nation is based on certain issues related with the supply of money, such as how much should be the supply of money in the economy, what should be the rate of interest, how much should be the viability of money, what should be the extent of liquidity available. Monetary policy aims at influencing the economic activity of a nation through two basic variables. These are money or credit supply and rate of interest. Money or credit supply. The money or credit supply is a difficult issue for every central banking agency. When money supply squeezes, it affects availability of credit. Thus, the process of capital formation is automatically adversely affected. Every reduction in capital formation reduces the growth rate of the economy. It also adversely influences confidence of traders, investors and industrialists of the economy. For a short period, often reduction in money supply is a right step to control inflationary trends. However, monetary policy that insists on continuous decrease in money supply leads to a very difficult position for bankers as well as for investors and manufacturers. This approach of government insisting on low supply is decried by different sectors, and government is often labelled as orthodox or non-growth oriented policy maker. Rate of interest. The term rate of interest indicates the bank rate. The central bank often adopts a flexible policy towards interest rate. Every time the economy is reviewed and the bank rates are restructured, considering the quantum and size of money supply in the economy. When the economy has excessive money supply, it often leads to decrease in the purchasing power, loss of intrinsic value of money, and this adds to inflationary trends. In this situation, the monetary policy insists on reducing the money supply by increasing the interest rates. The reverse is often followed when the central bank wants to increase supply of credit and expedite the growth rate. In India, RBI adopts different policies for different seasons, which can be called as variable monetary policies. The techniques of monetary policy are similar to the techniques of credit control at the disposal of the central bank. The techniques of monetary policy thus include bank rate, open market operations, variable cash reserve requirements and selective credit control. Let us now have an understanding of the term monetary policy, how we define the term monetary policy. Different economists have defined the term monetary policy in different ways. Let us consider some important definitions of the term monetary policy. In the words of Professor Harry Johnson, a policy employing the central bank control of the supply of money as an instrument for achieving the objectives of general economic policy is labeled as monetary policy. A. G. Shapiro has said, monetary policy is the exercise of the central bank's control over the money supply as an instrument for achieving the objectives of economic policy. According to D. C. Rowan, the monetary policy is defined as discretionary action undertaken by the authorities designed to influence A. the supply of money, B. the cost of money or the rate of interest, and C. the availability of money. In the words of R. P. Kent, the management of the expansion and contraction of volume of money in circulation for the explicit purpose of attaining specific objectives such as full employment is known as monetary policy. What do we learn from these definitions? These definitions have helped us to identify certain important features of monetary policy. These are: a monetary policy is the policy through which the central bank controls the supply of money. Monetary policy refers to the management of expansion and contraction of volume of money in circulation. Monetary policy is one of the key instruments used for achieving general economic stability. A monetary policy is related to the availability and supply of money. Monetary policy influences cost of money, that is the rate of interest by which it controls the supply of money. It may be used to attain one specific economic objective such as condition of full employment. Let us now understand the relevance of monetary policy. Monetary policy is a very important instrument of economic growth with stability. It is a kind of regulatory policy. It is a tool that helps the governing authorities to achieve general economic objectives. These objectives are multifaceted and have monetary, economic and social dimensions. This involves certain important issues such as: 1. Manipulation of the supply of money, the level and structure of interest, availability and regulation of credit and interest rates. It also helps to curb unproductive usage of credit. The relevance of monetary policy can be rightly understood with certain useful insights that are presented here. To meet specific requirements of the economy in relation to effective implementation of economic policies, to achieve the twin objective of growth with social justice, to facilitate the smooth implementation of planning process. It is the exercise of the central bank's control over money supply as an instrument for achieving the ultimate aim of economic policies, that is balanced and sustainable economic growth. Let us study the features of a sound or efficient monetary policy. What constitutes a good monetary policy is a very important issue to be considered. The success of short-term economic management often depends on how carefully the monetary policy is designed. A good monetary policy for all practical purposes is something which cannot be rightly defined, because there are many objectives which are in certain cases contradictory to each other. If a monetary policy emphasizes on achieving one objective, it may skip the other. So, it may be appropriate to consider all these features as important, but not necessarily present in every monetary policy. A monetary policy tries to balance different expectations of different stakeholders, and at the same time it tries to balance growth with stability. The important features of a sound monetary policy can be classified under two heads: A. Price stability, and B. Maintaining exchange rate stability. Let us try to understand the features of a monetary policy at length. Price stability. The principal feature of sound monetary policy is to stabilize the prices of goods and services in the economy. From this point of view, a sound monetary policy helps in maintaining a sound pricing policy on consistent basis, to minimize fluctuations in prices, to check the inflationary and deflationary trends in the economy, to improve general economic policy of government, helping enhancement of quantum of employment opportunities. Maintaining exchange rate stability. A sound monetary policy reduces frequent fluctuations in exchange rate, which helps to curb speculative lending. A sound monetary policy results in boosting up confidence of the foreign investors and thus fetches investments of foreign investors. A sound monetary policy helps to develop healthy economic and trade relations between different nations. It also helps to maintain price stability in international market. A well designed monetary policy helps to enhance foreign trade of the country. It also helps to minimize exchange rate fluctuations. What are the objectives of monetary policy? The prime objective of the monetary policy of any economy is to ensure economic growth with stability. After the Keynesian revolution in economics, many people accepted significance of monetary policy in attaining certain objectives. These objectives have been portrayed with the help of a diagram here. These are the general objectives which every central bank of an economy tries to attain by employing certain tools or instruments of monetary policy. Now, let us try to understand the objectives of monetary policy at length. Speedy economic growth. It is one of the most important objectives of the monetary policy of every economy. If the RBI opts for an easy credit policy by reducing interest rates, the investment level in the economy will be encouraged, which speeds up the economic growth process. Price stability and stability in value of money. Inflation and deflation, both the economic phenomena, are harmful to any economy. They are the results of price instability. Monetary policy aims to bring about price stability in the economy. It tries to keep the value of money stable. Stability in the value of money helps in reducing the income and wealth inequalities. Economy can grow in a consistent manner. It is the stable monetary policy which is able to maintain income and price stability. When the economy faces recessionary situation, then an easy money policy should be adopted. On the contrary, when the economy faces inflationary situation, a dear money policy should be adopted. Exchange rate stability. Exchange rate is the price of domestic currency, that is the home currency, expressed in terms of any foreign currency. If the exchange rate of a nation is very volatile, the economic standing of that nation becomes weak. The monetary policy therefore aims at maintaining relative exchange rate stability. In India, the RBI tries to influence the demand for foreign exchange and tries to maintain the exchange rate stability by altering the foreign exchange reserves. Balance of payment or BOP equilibrium. Many developing countries like India suffer from the disequilibrium in the balance of payment. The Reserve Bank of India, through its monetary policy, tries to maintain equilibrium in the balance of payment. The BOP has two aspects, that is BOP surplus and the BOP deficit. The former reflects an excess of money supply in the domestic economy, while the latter stands for stringency of money. If the monetary policy succeeds in maintaining monetary equilibrium, then the balance of payment equilibrium can be rightly achieved. Full employment. The concept of full employment refers to the absence of involuntary unemployment. In simple words, full employment is positive socio-economic phenomena whereby every person who wants to get employed gets the employment. Monetary policy can be used for attaining the objective of full employment in an economy. If expansionary monetary policy is adopted, then credit supply can be encouraged in the economy. This in turn would help in creating more employment opportunities in different sectors of the economy. Regulation of money supply. The monetary policy of the nation should regulate the supply of money in a particular economy. A change in the supply of money creates monetary disequilibrium, resulting in economic instability. Monetary policy aims to regulate the supply of money in order to neutralize the effect of monetary expansion or money expansion. However, it is often argued that if money supply is kept constant, then it would be difficult to attain the price stability. Equal income distribution. In conventional economic sense, the objective of fiscal policy of a nation is to maintain economic equality. However, in recent years it has been agreed by many economists that monetary policy can supplement the fiscal policy in attaining the objectives of economic equality. Monetary policy can make special provisions for certain economically unprivileged sectors such as agriculture, small scale industries, village industries, etc., and provide them with cheaper credit for longer terms. This will boost the economic growth of these sectors. As such, monetary policy can help in reducing economic inequalities among different sections of the society. What are the targets of a monetary policy? The target variables are endogenous variables which the monetary authority try to control and influence so as to influence the goal variables in the desired manner. To serve the target function well, a chosen target variable should possess certain basic qualifications. These are: it should be closely related to goal variables and this relation should be well understood and reliably estimable. It should be rapidly affected by policy instruments. Non-policy influence on it should be relatively small, that is small relative to policy influence. And of course, it should be readily observable and measurable with little or no time lag. Traditionally, the three variables have served as candidates for monetary policy targets. They are money supply, bank credit, and C, interest rates in the securities market. Thus, monetary policy is a very important tool in the hands of central bank to regulate and control the supply of money in an economy. A sound monetary policy that aims to maintain price and exchange rate stability helps in checking the inflationary and deflationary trends in an economy. It also helps in bridging the gap between the rich and the poor as it aims at equal income distribution. Therefore, the government should be very cautious while designing and implementing a monetary policy in the economy so as to ensure positive and speedy economic growth along with socio-economic justice. This is how a good monetary policy should help to the central banking system, to the economy and management of resources for general welfare of public. Thank you very much.